iPad. I had to replug my amplifier in, my little mini Shure MVI amplifier in, to make sure that it would be on. It's a strange thing with the iPad here, so you hear that click sometimes in there when I turn it on. So, yeah, lots happening. So as far as that Chase thing, my Chase account was compromised by somebody getting one of their checks. Now, highly unlikely that it came directly from my room, unless somebody broke in. So that's kind of ruled out, unless somebody broke in. And, of course, I told you my camera seemed to be malfunctioning at times, so, yeah, that would be pretty high level. One thing you should understand about Deep State on how they do that, they're preparing a playing field for a failed life, for a life that's victimized. So it's not always going to be the Deep State, but Deep State causes it to occur, to include direct solicitation. Boo, boo, boo. Then there's also people that will be part of that stalking, but not part of the Deep State, and their job is to make it look like, I'm going to just say it's the Deep State, and it's not, but it really is. The whole thing is being caused by Deep State activity. Not Deep State activity is communism and Nazism. Unurinated on. I rolled my window down, it urinated on me, so that shows me that they use the urinate on curse, which, of course, they use the more common word, and that word, I think, is in the Bible. The more common word. So I'm on my way to Walmart to buy some Velcro. But as far as it coming from the move, there were two people that helped me, one in Oklahoma, one in Texas. Highly unlikely, but, anything's possible. They could have got hold of one of those checks. I do remember lamenting, and I can't remember if it's the day I moved, that I get this letter. It's from Chase, and it's those checks. So, again, something weird could have happened where it just came out and of my bag or something like that, or somebody grabbed it in the cab of the truck. It was sitting there or whatever. And that's my big gripe with Chase. I told you I don't want anything mailed to me, and you're mailing these unsolicited checks. I went for a paperless account. I expect a paperless account. I shouldn't have to go back to you 50 times to specify what I want to be paperless. I shouldn't be receiving mail from you unless I know you're sending it. That's the way I want my account. And that would be intelligent. However, and this could be coincidental also, the last name of the person that supposedly received the check is a name affiliated with me. So again, could be Deep State, could be somebody wanting me to say it's the Deep State and that has no connection to the Deep State, but yet is still the Deep State. You understand? The Deep State is both implicit and explicit. So again, it's very, very, very difficult to fight the CIA once they start this. However, we are U.S. citizens. Whether they want to be one or not is their problem. We are U.S. citizens, and we will maintain the United States of America, regardless of what our FBI, CIA, DHS, KGB, MI5 does. And it could be Chinese, could be anybody. So again, when I say something, it's just to get your minds moving in that direction. So we know that it was compromised. I was able to call Chase in the middle of the night. I didn't realize that they had that option. And at a certain moment, I received the thought. Because what happened is I received this thought. I woke up. I'm like, why am I awake? And all of a sudden, I get this idea, check your Chase account. I mean, it wasn't even present mind. It was just kind of robotic. And I check it, and there it is. So I didn't think I could call them till, like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I got this thought like an hour later, hey, call Chase. And I called them, and they were available in some country. I had to listen closely to figure out what they were saying, but it worked well, and I was able to let them know what happened. Unfortunately, where I was staying in Norman, Oklahoma, the business had allegations against it as far as some of the employees possibly stealing things. And I have specific information about possible reasons in their life that they would do that. Some related by them, some related by people that were angry at them. So again, somebody in an excited moment said something about that person. And then that person could be also a person that did it. But I didn't have anybody in my room except for those moments, and then everything was put away, and we were like on the computer trying to, help somebody get verification for Social Security benefits, and the other one was trying to help somebody restart their direct deposit bank account so it would work for them. And we were looking at certain options of getting in there and trying to get the payment forward. But it'd be very difficult in those instances. So, again, it could be also weird. I may have inadvertently threw one away and it was in the trash. I don't know. I mean, that can happen. And what am I doing? I'm saying what it all could be. Not to say that I did that, and most likely I didn't. I rip things up, I tear them up, and that's that. Could they have gotten a number that way? Maybe, but I try to destroy things pretty good. So again, the deep state is most likely involved somehow, if not explicitly involved, implicitly involved. But then again, there's other people that are put in. So the deep state will put people into your lives to take it away from the deep state, but yet it's still effectuating the deep state's activity. So the CIA, again, that type of activity, whether it's the CIA proper or not. Now, there's another part to this. Chase, based upon that, is going to have an authority to look at my life. Because a crime was committed, money was spent, their money, and they're going to have an opportunity with their chums in the FBI or wherever else to look at that, but yet also look at my life. Possibly receive who I spoke to in the last so many months, who I'm going to speak to in the future months on my phone. See? So what it all could have been was an attempt to get a deep state person, a security person, an FBI agent, a local cop into my life to move around it and look like they're doing something that's, law enforcement related. Of course, they're trying to help me at this point. But yeah, they're moving deep state, shadow government, criminal enterprise activity. So again, you can see the quandary of allowing such things to exist. Is Barr stopping it? I don't know. Is Durham going to stop something? No, I don't know. Spycraft Theater is Spycraft Theater. It's everywhere. The nation is fallen. I still haven't removed that witness from the existence. Our nation is fallen. It doesn't have a right to exist. The government's criminal. You don't want to use those words. That's your problem, all of you. If you want to dumb it down and make it sound like it's nothing, that's all of you. You're all living a different life than everyone else. We all know this. Y'all focused on Warren, how Warren was a millionaire, but she's not the only one. Everybody, just about everybody we watched on television that's part of this talking head circuit, they're multimillionaires. So, let's focus on Warren being a millionaire. Now, she is the worst offender as far as pointing out that millionaires are the problem. So the fact is, you want to say, oh, yeah, but I worked for it. You all work for your money, right? No, the deep state allowed you to have it. So again, we're still there with the beast, the limitations of buying and selling. Well, you open up a new store here. Apparently, Tyler, Texas is growing along with the rest of Texas. So I'm on my way to Walmart to get some Velcro to finish my bike. Great ending, you know. God bless the guy that did this in the end. Well, I was having trouble because it was damaged. And I wanted $150 back from the guy. And they started offering me a frame. First, he wouldn't talk to me. Then he wanted to offer me a frame. And I'm like, do you know, I can rebuild a bike, but I'm not going to take an electric bike and take everything off and then put it on a new frame. So I was trying to get him to give me $150 off and we'll call it even. So when I sent that email, I got this sinking feeling like, you shouldn't have kept the bike. You should have got a different one. You know, it's Satan. It's the deep state involved in my life. So eventually, he refunds all the money. So I figure, I got to send it back now. Okay, that's the way he wants to play it. I'll even have to spend a few dollars on bubble wrap because I'm not wrapping it with the styrofoam. I'm going to make sure this thing gets there and gets there well. I'll buy a bunch of bubble wrap, the heavy stuff. And he had some wrap in there too. So I didn't get an RMA number or a way to send it back. I'm like, darn. So I call eBay and I said, don't worry about it. He said, don't worry about it, because they know what's going on. The bike it doesn't cost this guy anything. It's all like almost profit. So what happened was that it costs him more money to try to get the bike back and dispose of it than it does to leave it with me. So I wrote him and I talked to him and he said, you know, I have to give you, I said, all I wanted was $150. He says, I had to give you it all back because eBay got involved. I'm like, okay. So I kind of made out there. But I lost you can't keep your purchase warranty when that happens. So I'm kind of like, I'm going to ride it until it breaks because I have no way to fix it with a warranty, and these things are expensive to fix. I mean, if I could figure it out, fine. But so I'm believing it's just going to last so long. Because remember, I had that 3-year Square trade. You can't keep it because it's not a maintenance program, or it's not the warranty doesn't exist without the eBay purchase. Right. And at a certain point, they might try to send me the purchase price, which would be insurance fraud. It would essentially be a certain level of insurance fraud, so I had to get rid of that. So I'm kind of not really in a perfect place because I might have to buy a new one soon anyway if it breaks down. I don't know if it's going to last. And I got this big hunk of whatever. So that kind of happened. It's a blessing to have it happen. Thanks to the people that did it, and you know, I was kind of angry at them at first, and I think they felt bad. I was wondering if they were scamming me or how it was all going to play out. And I really wanted to keep it in a certain way because it's the only blue one. You know, it's black and with a lot of blue in it, and so I figured out a way to cover the scratches. I'm going to put a sheepdog patch and what's the other patch? Oh, In God We Trust patch on there and cover it. But I got to get I bought some Velcro from Amazon, but it was the wrong Velcro. So I was blinded there. I bought the thicker Velcro, and I forgot I usually buy the thinner Velcro, low profile. So I'm over here at Walmart. It has a great deal on Amazon. I could have it tomorrow, but I want to ride the bike today. And God says I have to put this on there, so I have to come over to Walmart, which I'm at right now, and buy this lower profile Velcro and put my patches on before I ride it. So this happened to me before. I had this guitar that I bought from France. It's the only place I could buy it then. So I bought it from France, and I think I even told the guy to make sure he packages it well because I had one that came broken. Well, he didn't. And the stock got broke. So it had a chunk of wood just floating around in there. And eBay said, hey, it's broken. He never sent any money. Oh, here, the curse of that thing there. He never sent any money for shipping and all that. So eBay said, that's it. You just do whatever you want with it. And eventually I fixed it. And then I don't. Oh, shoot. Come on, Deep State. Quit cursing me. mounts, not the suction cup mount isn't working well. So I eventually, they didn't want me to say this. They tried to cause a thought. I gave it to a music shop with some other guitars, I think it was, and I had them give it to the children's program at their music store. It works with the schools or something. So I donated that to Musical Youth, I think with another guitar or two. I can't remember. I know I gave that one away to them for sure. So that was that. So this one here, I got to fix up and ride for a little bit. I needed a break after so many downturns. That was a nice thing to happen, tell you the truth. But it is what it is. Because the guy at eBay was like, wait, he sent you the refund. It's over. You don't have to do anything. And then when I emailed him, he's like, I couldn't just give you $150 back. I had to give you the whole thing. And he's like, regards. Yeah, but you know what? These are very wealthy people, most likely. Very wealthy people. Doesn't mean anything to them. But to U.S. citizens who were born here because of people like Nadler, Pelosi, Schumer, and other people, I don't know if McConnell's completely in the clear. You're selling our birthright away to all these other nations. And I'm not a discriminating person, and I don't think we should isolate ourselves, but, there's only so much in this nation as far as goodwill for people to succeed, and a large portion of that is being transferred to foreign nations because they'll enrich in you. So again, is it wrong? Only if you're not helping the everyday American to that status. Don't tell me that, I gave him 5 jobs at $30,000 a year. Every month I make sure that, well, we're talking about some unimaginable wealth being moved out of this country. You were doing it with the Russians. You're doing it with Chinese. You're doing it with people in India. People don't understand that that's what's happening, that they're stuck where they are, and you believe that's where they belong because you believe of a superior being made a little higher than everyone else. And you all believe that's who you all are. FBI believes the same thing. DHS believes the same thing. So again, remember, God looks on the heart, because what we're seeing and what you all say is most times contrived and not the reality of what you're actually effectuating with your mind and your body. So, again, the wealth of this nation and the opportunity to be that wealthy is being moved away. Now, as far as the top 5% getting extremely wealthy, well, that's kind of smoke and mirrors also. Because what you have to look at is where people are financially. Which means if we had less, if that 10% was 50% is wealthy, it doesn't mean that it's going to change anything else. If you tax them, it doesn't mean it's going to change anything else. If you were to take 50% of the wealth of the wealthiest people on earth, you'll kill their will to make money. Because you're just going to take it anyway. And then what happens? McDonald's hires robots instead of people. So you see, there's the free enterprise. Capitalism works, but you can't have corrupt government. And to a certain degree, I've said socialism could work, but you can't have corrupt government. But you're more likely going to fail people's lives in socialism with corrupt government than you would in capitalism. Because in capitalism, the government can't completely do it. But that's where the CIA and the deep state activity comes in. They go out and they kill people's bosses' lives until they fire the person. Or at least make a report to the police, and then they fire him or something. because the police come in and say something. So again, this is the type of thing that's going on in the United States. It was what Vladimir Putin's Soviet Union was, and most likely is going on there today. So there's very little difference between us and Russia, and has nothing to do with President Trump bringing Putin to the White House. So again, don't let them blur the lines. Why do I say Barr at Durham? Because it might be nothing. Spycraft Theater says, okay, we have a boogeyman out there. Now we need one of our people to save everyone from the boogeyman. So here comes, ta-da, Barr and Durham are going to save us from the deep state boogeyman. But CIA operation would say that they are the deep state boogeyman. If I want people to love you, I would create the biggest problem in your life, or problem in everyone's life, and then I would have that person save them from it. Again, it was called kind of Wag the Dog, I guess, was one of those type of movies. So again, the proof is limited because, it'll be like 2 years down the road, like, no, nobody's indicted again. But yet, look over here, we got Finardo and Bernardo. Finardo and Bernardo is going to save everyone. Bernardo and Bernardo is going to save us from the boogeyman Durham and Barr. So that's the world we're living for real. So again, things happen sometimes for the good. So, Tyler, Texas is that kind of place. There are ways to get back up. The people remind me of Philadelphia. They remind me of inner city Philadelphia. Now, I don't know what Philadelphia is like today, but they remind me of inner city Philadelphia people, and I could tell it's a little more comfortable. I actually, the desk lady got hit with the light at my front door a couple times, and I explained it to her. I said, I don't want to have to send somebody's picture off to the police because they were in my room. I'd rather the light go on, they see it, and they run. So about a week in here, I said, I don't think I'm gonna need that light on my thing. And not to say that everybody's honest here, but there it was off the hook. And I think your problem is gambling and methamphetamines. That's two of the biggest problems. But that's two of the biggest motivators for people to work with the deep state. They have addiction problems, gambling, and alcoholism, and methamphetamines there. And they'll work for the deep state. Deep state doesn't care if that exists. It's one of their triggers to get people to do what they want them to do. Deep state's a very nasty, evil thing. And just like that FBI agent that was arrested for killing his son along with his daughter, and then making up that cockamamie story. His whole life he made up cockamamie stories like that, and everybody bought into it. So again, I bring up the fact that we have to restore the government to a certain level of honesty so that it pays to be honest. The government actually forces people not to be honest. They want to have that ability to say, hey, you weren't honest. So if I'm not honest, then you have to let me be dishonest. Or I'll bring up that you were dishonest. That kind of thing. So again, be peaceful. Don't attack the government, no matter how much it attacks you, but speak freely and protect your neighbor. Here in Tyler, Texas, it's a different world. I wish I kind of got here earlier in life. But it is what it is. I work for God, and God will move me based upon the need to save some. Because if I had moved here sooner, there could have been 100,000 souls lost into hell within a day, where they would never accept the gift of Rabbi Jesus, Son of God. That's how it really works. And really, if the deep state wasn't active, I'd had a great life in New Mexico. Because I'm that type of person. I just would have a great life. I would have a great life in Florida. I would have a great life in the Marts. I would have a great life everywhere. But they are actively using active measures to destroy the lives of the citizens of the United States of America. And they include federal, state, and local government employees, as well as the private sector cronies who have the security entities that are employing legal entities that are employing those same government people, legally and illegally, through bribe and other ways. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.